Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. If you are live, it is the 30th of April, last day of April, in fact, at about 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I also want to welcome you to the show. And of course, I want to let you know that we're over in the chat room. You can find that by heading over to 12radio.com. That's number 2 radio.com. Click on the chat button and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. I also want to let you know that I am live streaming this event, and you can find that by heading over to YouTube or Facebook and look for Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic, and you can find the live. So, lots and lots of ways to connect. Want to say hi to all the chatters that are filing in. How's it going? What a weird energy we are in, right? So last week, of course, we were kind of reeling in the whole full moon slash Mercury trying to go direct slash really high Schumann resonance. And it was, kind of weird and uncomfy. Well, it's still kind of weird and uncomfy. So I'm curious to know where you guys are at, if you're doing good with this, if you are not. It's an interesting vibe. The Schumann resonance is 75 today, or it was this morning. Let me double check. That's really high, really, really high. And when the Schumann is that high, a lot of times, oh, it's dropped. Oh, Lordy. So it was 75 at about 8 o'clock this morning, and now it's dropped to 17. So 7.75 is the mean, in case you're wondering. So that's a huge drop. So interesting. So I don't know what to say. We're all over the map. That's what I know. We're definitely all over the map. Gosh. All right. Tomorrow is Beltane. So this is the Beltane show. We're going to talk all about Beltane and how to celebrate it and what it means. I have a great Beltane meditation I put together for you. All kinds of fun stuff. But before that, last week I had a new crystal to show you and I forgot to bring it. So it's here now. Got to power up with some coffee, as you know. So here's my crystal. It's actually an amethyst that's plated. It's titanium plated to look like that. Isn't that cool? I know some people don't like plated stones. They feel like it changes the energy of them. I think they're really cool. I love this. It's really reflective. On this side of it, it's like the top part of it is so heavily plated that you can't see through it. But on this side, you can. And it's just really cool. It's got a really magical vibe. I'm loving it. So it's my go-to on my desk right now. And I did put a link or a picture of it in the chat room for you guys as well that are in the chat. But isn't that gorgeous? I know. When I saw it, I had to have it. I was with Christy and I said, I'm buying this. Like, I know people have a thing about plated crystals, but I want this. And she goes, okay, permission granted then, or what? Sometimes I forget I'm 46 years old and have big girl money and can, do whatever the hell I want. So here we are. Anyway, I love it. I think it's really pretty. So I bought this at a really cool little kind of metaphysical-y gifty crap or gifty store in a little teeny resort town in Idaho called it. The town is called Lava Hot Springs. The store is called the Purple Moon for any locals that are wondering. But there you go. I know she's gorgeous, right? Really, really nice energy. Sid said there's a lot of geomagnetic and solar storms going on right now. Have you felt any of the earthquakes that hit in Yellowstone? I have not felt a thing. Yeah. A lot of times we don't down here. We're far enough away that we don't feel them. We'll hear about them and like energetically, I might feel them. And that's where I've been. I've been really anxious the last couple of days and overwhelmed. Yesterday, I kind of yelled at the dogs. Like it was more of a like, everybody get away from me. Scott was like, "Whoa, what do you need?" Because that's not, I they're my babies. I don't yell at them. But anxious and overwhelmed. That's how I've been feeling. Yeah, I'm 46. I'm almost 47. I was doing the math a couple of days ago that and realizing that Scott and I will have been married 28 years next month. 28 years. It's great. It's fine. Man, that seems like a long time. Like, no offense to Scott or anything like that. I still feel like I just got out of high school. So, it's kind of a thing. Ooh, Sid said she has an Aqua Aura quartz that's a gorgeous pastel turquoise blue. I love them. She said, I was told it's created by charging clear quartz in a gold solution. It is. There's also a pink version where they use a different metal. Yes. Sid, I have been trying to buy or make Scott invent, mostly trying to make Scott invent because I can't afford to buy it, uh, a system that would do the plating on crystals because I think they are magnificent. Have you ever seen tangerine aura quartz? Tangerine aura quartz is absolutely my favorite of the aura quartz. Let me see if I can find a picture to show you. But yeah, I had a dream once upon a time that I wanted to do it myself because you can buy mine run from the Tim Coleman mine in uh, Arkansas. This is one of the most amazing mines in the United States, and they have all this different kinds of quartz. And you can order mine run from them. So they literally just send you boxes of dirt, and then you clear out all of the stuff and all the dirt and all the stuff. And then you have your crystals, and then you have to boil them in an acid solution for lots of hours to deal with all of the red, the ochre dirt on them. And it's just, and then you get these just glassy, ice clear crystals that are amazing. And then you could take those and you could use them to do, you could plate them if you had a plating system. And I just think it would be amazing. So, yeah, I've been nagging Scott for years about this, that I really do need for him to figure it out, invent a little system, because again, like to purchase a system is in the tens of thousands. So probably not going to work out for my team on that. But one of these days, he's going to do it. By God. He's just not as interested as me. All it takes with him is to pique his interest, right? And so if I could get him just a little bit more interested in the science of it, I think I know we could do it. I mean, come on. But anyway, that's all. So let me show you. This is a tangerine aura quartz. Is that not gorgeous? I love, love, love them. The tangerine aura quartz, the energy of it or like the color of it, a lot of times in energy work, I'll wrap people up in that color that need to attract something good, like a job or, some people or a certain whatever. It helps to attract good people and good things to you. So I love it. Let's see. Jen said Mars is going into its home sign of Aries today, Grouch City. Well, that explains a lot. Got it. Sherry said, I have an angel aura quartz on my desk. It looks like a geode infused with platinum and silver. Love it. Yep. Yeah. Quelly said, just purchase some rescue remedy online. Yep. No, I hear you. I hear you. There's been plenty of self medicating going on in my house. Yeah. Scott's blaming it on the Daybell trial because, I have been a little frantic. And, sitting through murder trials is, well, it could be fairly upsetting. In this case, like we've known this evidence for 4 years. So it's not like I'm seeing a lot of stuff that's brand new and terribly upsetting. Moreover, the prosecutor or the defense is upsetting because he's quite the jackass. And so Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I kind of tend, I'm really, really good usually at multitasking and, compartmentalizing and organizing my time. And so I think it's more the collective energy has just kind of sent me. But, ah, well, Tiffany, I am glad you are here. I also just have to show you something cute that's sitting on my desk because Scott brought it in a few minutes ago. He just printed this. He printed a whole army of tiny astronauts. Isn't he cute? I just looked at his desk and he has like 10 of these guys standing there and then a whole bunch of little tiny capybaras standing in front of them. So I'm not really sure what kind of army he's building, but I noticed there's a whole plate of new capybaras on the printer too. So I don't know what kind of world he's inventing, but I will keep you posted. CBD tincture drops can be helpful for anxiety too. Yes, absolutely. And movement for me. A lot of times I'll just be like, I got to get out of this house. I've got to go walk, got to go move myself, you know, do something. But yeah, what a wild energy we're in. No kidding. There's a lot of files out there to make to 3D print chess sets. A lot of them. They're really cool. It's a great idea, Jane. But aren't they cute? I should have brought a capybara in here too to show you. I don't think I have one in here anymore. They are so freaking cute. We bought a new printer. I know. We needed it. We really needed it. That prints in multiple colors. And we've never had that before. So it's kind of fun because, like, this guy, of course, he's got his black and white, and you can't really tell, but the little buttons on his suit are brown. Anyway, that's fun. It's pretty cool to watch the printer, switching colors and printing all your different colors. So you can do some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, kind of fun. Yeah, Laurie said dance movement is one of my favorite ways to dissipate energy. Yes. Yeah. Stretching, walking, dancing, just moving. So I had a little incident with my car. Poor Scott. He's been putting up with this for what did I just say? 28 years. But Christy and Rhonda went camping this weekend. They bought a new little motorhome over the winter and they were dying to give her a try. So they went camping not very far from where I live this weekend. And we didn't camp. We just didn't really have our shit together to go. So I just said, well, I'll just come up to camp and hang out with you guys. So on Friday night, it was raining and it was getting darker, but I just wanted to go up and visit for a while. Scott was real happy playing Fortnite with the kids, so he stayed home and I drove up to camp. I drove all the way through the campground and I did not see them. And so I thought, oh, maybe they're down the road in another spot we sometimes go to. And I was actually on the phone with Mars, and Mars is like, oh, no, 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 no. Do not drive down in there. Don't even do that. That's not a place for cars. And I'm like, oh, come on. We've driven down in there before. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I went down in there. Well, that's not a place for cars. I took a jump a little bit. Anyway, I muffed up my car. And then I had to drive it home and admit what I had done. So luckily, he just put it up on a little ramp, and there's like a membrane, like cover thing under your car that, well, protects it. Well, mine got torn part way off. So, and apparently that's my fault. But anyway, everyone's fine. The car is fine. Scott's mostly fine. But now that's not a place for cars. So, yeah. JR said, I used to burn sage. It's worked well, but it's not good for my asthma. Sure. Try making a sage tea, JR. Just boil a little water, put your sage in it, burn it for a minute, and then you can cool that down, put it in a little spray bottle and spray it. It does a great job and won't, hopefully not. Well, I shouldn't say won't, who knows, but I would say much less likely to bother your asthma. Right, Jennifer? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I hardly ever drive, Mostly just because we go most places together. And in the winter, I won't drive because I hate slick roads. So if I'm driving, there's a real need for it because I don't like to drive in the winter. But it's not winter anymore, and well, here we are. Nancy, what? Nancy's going to the Coleman mine for a dig in September. Oh my God, I could not be more jealous. I have been doing business with the Coleman mine for like 15 years, but I've never been there. It looks amazing. I did finally find her campsite. Yes. So yeah, went and visited that night, and then on Sunday we went back out with all the family and had a big barbecue and played games and had fun. Yeah, it was good. So we have quite a bit to cover today, but I want to ask you guys a question because this question's been floating around the internet for a hot minute, and I want to know what you think. I just want to know what you think. So the question is, would you rather be alone in the woods with a potential bear or man? Now, I'm not talking about your dad or your husband. I'm talking about a strange man, a stranger man. Would you rather be alone in the woods with a bear or a man? That's the whole question. What are your thoughts? I immediately went to bear. Bear was my first thought. I asked Scott this question and he said, "Man, are you kidding?" And I went, "No, I'm not. A bear actually doesn't want anything to do with you. A bear is also predictable to the most part. I'm going on bear." And he thought I was crazy. I said, "Your daughters, would you rather them be alone in the woods with a strange man or with a bear?" He was like, "A man. They can beat a man. Can they, though?" I don't know. The true crime brain in me, I think, goes straight to bear. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting thought. So we're getting some bears. Lillian said neither. Sherry changed her mind. Sid went with bear. Yep, Jen said bear. It's an interesting conversation that's happening. What I'm seeing it mostly on TikTok and on Twitter, but it's a very interesting conversation. Yeah, Spirit said people have completely destroyed me. Yeah. Laurie wants to know if the man is hot. Let's consider that he might be a little creepy. We don't know. Tiff said, if a bear gets you, you are done. A man, you have to live with what he did to you for the rest of your life. Interesting. Yeah. Quelly says, man. It's an interesting thought. Interesting conversation. Men have been quite offended at women who say bear. They can't even believe it. And I saw an analogy that I thought was really, really great from a creator I like. His name is Scott D. Henry. So Scott said, I'm going to invite you over to my house for dinner and I'm going to make chicken nuggets. And I'm going to give you a plate of chicken nuggets and I'm going to tell you 3 of the chicken nuggets on this plate are poisoned, but the rest of them are completely fine. So then if you choose to not eat the plate of chicken nuggets, are you anti-chicken nuggets? Are you discriminating against all chicken nuggets because you won't eat any of the chicken nuggets because you don't know which one of the chicken nuggets will poison you? Yeah, I thought that was a great analogy. Unfortunately, we know it's not all men, but we also know that it is some men. Now, of course, we know that if you come up on a bear and startle a bear, it's going to potentially attack you, though it might actually run. We also know that if a bear attacks you, you will probably not live through it. Okay. But we don't know what the man might do. We don't know why he's in the woods. We know why the bear's in the woods. It lives there. We don't know what else the man has been doing in the woods. I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. I think it's interesting to contemplate. Good point, Sid. I think especially our group would have a better possibility working energetically to connect with a bear, even if we are inexperienced. Sure. Interesting conversation. Well, let's move into Beltane. Shane wants to know if men would rather be with a strange, crazy woman or a bear. That's an excellent question. The spirit says every bear I encountered have been uneventful. They just go about their business with people. There's always a risk of changing their intent. Laurie said, if a man serves me chicken nuggets, I'm never going out with him again. That's probably solid too. Jess says, do I have a weapon? I don't need that for the bear. Hey, Tamara, how are you? You guys are good. All right. I'm thinking let's go ahead and move into our meditation. Just double checking on the other chat room before I go anywhere. Okay. Okay. So I did put together a Beltane meditation. It's only about 5 minutes long, so not super long, but take a minute right here if you can to get in a spot where you want to be to do a meditation. Of course, if you're driving, disregard. Oh dear, Jane said she was chased by a coyote the other day in a public park. I might need to stick with a man versus bear. Oh no. Jane, are you okay? Why did a coyote chase you? There's probably no answer why. That's probably a really stupid question. Okay. All righty. Are you ready? I'm going to go ahead and cue this up. So relax and breathe, and let's celebrate Beltane. Welcome to this Beltane meditation, a time to celebrate the arrival of summer and the flourishing of life in all of its forms. Find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, and allow yourself to be fully present in this moment. Begin by taking a deep breath in, filling your lungs with fresh, invigorating air. As you exhale, release any tension or stress you may be holding on to. Feel the steady rhythm of your own heartbeat, aligning with the heartbeat of the earth beneath you. With each beat, sense the energy of renewal and growth pulsating through your body. Now, visualize yourself standing in a lush meadow, surrounded by the vibrant colors and fragrant scents of springtime. The air is alive with the buzzing of bees and the sweet songs of the birds. Imagine walking barefoot along the banks of a tranquil stream, feeling the cool, refreshing water against your skin, allowing the soothing sounds of the water to wash away any lingering worries or doubts, leaving you feeling cleansed and rejuvenated. Now, shift your focus to the flickering flames of a sacred bonfire, symbolizing the transformative power of fire. As you gaze into the flames, envision releasing any old patterns or beliefs that no longer serve you, allowing them to be consumed by the fire's purifying energy. Feel the warmth and the strength of the fire and the connections that you share with your larger community as you share in the collective energy of renewal and rebirth. Take a moment to express gratitude for the blessings of the season and the abundance of the life that surrounds you. Know that as you embrace the energy of Beltane, you are aligning yourself with the natural cycles of growth and transformation. When you are ready, gently bring your awareness back to the present moment. Carry the essence of this Beltane meditation with you as you move forward on your journey, renewed and revitalized. Okay, coming on back. Give us a stretch. And there you go. I like the way that feels. I like the energy of Beltane. We're halfway right now in between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. This turn of the wheel marks that spot. So, next stop, summer solstice. Can you believe it? I feel like this year is running away with us, but I like the way that felt. All right, so I'm going to share a link to Luminous. Of course, Luminous is the magazine that I publish on a weekly basis with some help from my friends, of course. And we're going to talk a little more about Beltane and celebrating Beltane. As you guys kind of return to. Denise had no sound? Well, that's weird. Well, I have no idea why. Huh. I don't know. Okay. Jessica said they have their second nest with 5 eggs in her yard. Yay. Kara, my sister Kara was here on Sunday. We were getting ready to go out to Christy's campsite. And Kara and I were running to town to grab a couple more things we needed. And my crows, yeah, they were doing it in the middle of the road. So I think we're going to have baby crows. They usually only have one. But anyway, yeah, they were doing it in the road. This is what I'm bringing to the neighborhood. I laughed and laughed. Said, I love the nature sounds and imagery of the meditation. Me too. Thank you. I love that. So it sounds like we could hear it on the live stream, but maybe we couldn't hear it over the over radio, maybe? I don't know. I just don't know. I am so sorry, Denise. That sucks. Weird. Well, I hope you had a nice silent meditation. Weird. All righty. Well, let's take a look at Luminous. I use some maypole imagery for the beginning. Yeah, it really makes me laugh because, right? It is great confirmation that that crow, he did find his new mate. Yeah. He has been so bold lately. He's marching around my yard front and back. I keep seeing him out there drinking out of the pig's pool, very near the dogs who aren't bothering him a bit. And then in the front yard, marching around the front yard, I actually saw him get in a tussle with a squirrel a couple of days ago. He like dive bombed a squirrel, a little teeny squirrel. We hardly have any squirrels where I live, which sounds wild to communities that are like overrun with squirrels, but there was a flood here when I was, well, actually, before I was born, about a year before I was born, there was a flood from a reservoir that was built, the Teton Dam, that broke and it flooded this entire area, destroyed an enormous amount of homes and farms and wildlife. And like, it was a huge disaster and displaced so many people. Like, again, huge disaster. But because of that, it really wiped out the squirrels. And so we hardly have any squirrels around here because of it. Isn't that weird? But every once in a while, we'll get a squirrel. And 2 years ago, we had a squirrel. Well, we'd had him for a couple of years that had been living in the apple trees and hanging out. And he had a couple of squirrel friends coming around a little bit. And I was so excited to finally have squirrels around here. And then he disappeared. But now there's a squirrel, a baby. So there's got to be more squirrels somewhere hanging out in my front yard, and the crows are beating him up. so, so that part's not good. That's the not good part. Yeah, I know. I'm very excited to see when they've had a baby in the past. It just one day there's three crows at the feeder. By the time they start bringing the baby to the feeder, they're about the same size as mom and dad. Like they're probably a little bit smaller, but it's not a lot. It's kind of an interesting thing, but by the time they start coming to the feeder, you just have three mostly seemingly adult crows, except for maybe just not flying as well. But that's what happens. So we'll see. They also moved their nest. Their nest has always been in a poplar uh, in my backyard, not too far from my office window that I can look out my window and see. And they have moved their nest across the street to one of the neighbor's trees out in their pasture. So I don't know why they did that, but maybe she just didn't want to be in the nest of the old crow wife. I don't know. Maybe she just wanted something that was her own. That's all I can guess. They worked on it for a while. That's what was puzzling because they were in the front yard gathering stuff and taking it up to their nest. I'd been watching them. And the next thing I know, they're not nesting in that. They're nesting over there. So I don't know what it was about that nest that wasn't working out, but they're out of there. It's true. Nature can be cruel. I know. The magpies and the crows that I attract and feed, they beat up on the doves. That really makes Scott mad. They will eat the baby doves, knock them out of their nests. Yeah. Yep. Lillian said she's always had squirrel friends. Her favorite was Miss Fatty. She came to the house and ate peanuts. Lots of photos of her. I love it. I love squirrels. I just think they're so funny. Okay, let's get back to Beltane and Luminous. So, yeah, went with a Mayday cover. It cracks me up because when I was a kid, I can remember in grade school having a maypole and being taught how to do a maypole. I'm going to try and say it correctly. Maypole dance. That's pagan. I'm sure a lot of you guys did it too, and it just makes me laugh. I think our teachers didn't have a clue, you know, what they were celebrating, but they were celebrating a pagan holiday. So good on them. Thank you for that. I called this the Beltane Blessings edition because, again, here we are. It is Beltane tomorrow. Beltane is loosely translated into the word bright fire, and it's a celebration of the beginning of summer. Okay, so my article this week is about the magic of Beltane. So, of course, as we know, this Beltane marks in the northern hemisphere, the midpoint between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. It's rooted in ancient Celtic traditions. It's a celebration of fertility, vitality, and the abundance of life. And if you ever watched any movies like The Mists of Avalon or others like that, you know that Beltane may have been celebrated as a bit, at least in some cultures, as kind of a wild a sexcapade, right? I mean, if you watched The Mists of Avalon, you're a little horrified right now about what happened on Beltane, but at any rate, Beltane can be because it is a rite of fertility, so it can include sex rituals. It's a time when the veil between the mundane world and the realm of the Fae is said to be thin, allowing for moments of magic and mystery to unfold. If you would like to further open the veil between you and the elemental world, light a brown candle and then hold space with that candle that you are inviting the elemental world into yours and let it burn all the way down. And then watch. I'm not going to say you might not get some shiny things stolen from you because you probably will, but they might give them back if you ask kindly. But that's an easy way to welcome if you want, maybe you don't, but if you want to welcome the elemental world into yours, that's how you would do that, or at least one way. So, fire, of course, plays a central role in Beltane. Bonfires are lit to honor the sun, symbolically burn away the remnants of winter, just making way for the abundance of summer. There has been a tradition of jumping over the Beltane flames. That's a time honored tradition. You can do it if you want. I'm going to not do that because, well, I think that would just be a trip straight to the nursing home for me. Of course, Beltane is a time for connecting with the natural world, honoring the cycles of life. It's a great time to spend some time outside. Beltane, I know I've said this a lot of times, but every turn of the wheel creates this need in me to do some kind of ceremony of some sort. And so I always share these ideas with you guys because you may be feeling the same kind of draw. That's just your ancient spirit talking. Beltane is a good time for ritual and for reflection. It's a good time to set your intentions for summer, make your summer plans, start thinking about what you want to learn, do, accomplish, get rid of, whatever summer is for you this year. It's a good time to harness the creative energy that permeates in the air. All of this growth in the natural world helps to create growth within us, and creativity is a big part of that. So, thinking about whatever creativity you want to expand on this year. For me, it's in the glass room. I know it. I I have a kiln halfway full. I just need to put a few more things in it, and I can finally do a good firing. Uh, I have so many ideas in my head, but now I just need to do them. I've also bought a lot of things and glass things and stuff so I can make the stuff I want to make. Now it's the doing time. Okay. Of course, Beltane is also about feasting and merriment. Beltane fires, parties, picnics, hot dog roast, whatever you do. So here's a list of magical ways to celebrate Beltane. maypole dancing. I'm guessing Amazon's here. That's how those dogs are acting. Bonfire rituals, of course. Nature walks, planting seeds, picnics and feasting, creating flower crowns. I love this. Altar decorations, of course. Decorate your altar if you have one, or do that with symbols of Beltane, flowers, ribbons, candles, images of the sun or the May Queen. Uh, that could be the goddess Unag or others. Use vibrant colors like green, yellow, and pink to evoke the season, the energy of the season. Ritual baths, we're going to talk more about that in a minute. That's in my tips. Fertility rituals, well, whatever you decide that is, then do that. Community celebrations. Join a Beltane celebration that's hosted by a local pagan or spiritual community. I know some of you guys have access to things like that, and some of you do not. So I get that. It's a good time for divination. So pull yourself some cards. Do a few things to help reflect on your desires, aspirations, opportunities that lie ahead while you make some plans for the months to come. Sunrise or sunset meditation, or smack dab in the middle of the day if you're just meditating here with me. Lots of ways to celebrate Beltane. So you decide what those look like for you. All right. So Kelly, her article this week in her Refeminist History series, this of course is her podcast. So right here at the top of the page in pink, if you click on that, that'll take you to her podcast so you can listen to it. This week, she is still talking about female athletes. Last week, she was talking more about the income disparity between male and female athletes. This week, she's really focusing on some badass women that have done amazing things, broken barriers, blazed trails, kicked down the doors, broken the glass ceilings for younger women to come in and make their mark. So it's great. It's a great article. There's a lot of really cool women on this list. And, women who did not sit down, they did not shut up, they didn't stop trying. Thank God they did. I think as younger women, sometimes we forget how many doors have been opened for us. And I know some of you guys helped open those doors, and I honor that. I was just reading a couple of days ago that we just hit the 50-year mark from the time where women weren't allowed to have a credit card in their name. Can you imagine that? Not being allowed to have a credit card in your name or a bank account in your name or own property? We're not that far from it in history. With the way things are going, sometimes I'm afraid we're going back to it. Some people actually want that. That was a bit hysterical. I don't think we're going back to that. But I'm shocked to hear people saying things like that they think that voting should be by household, that the man should vote. Not all household has a man. Uh, yeah, that women shouldn't vote. I have heard several uh, snippets of talks from people recently actually saying things like that with a straight face, like they believe it. Like, what the hell? Anyway, I appreciate Kelly's articles because we still need to celebrate feminism. We still need to be thick in the middle of it. We still need to remember what we have gained and what we have to lose if we don't keep our eyes wide open. Okay, my tip was to take a Beltane bath. So you're going to need some quartz crystals, some flowers, some candles, some essential oils of things like orange, lavender, lang lang, jasmine, whatever you like. Rose as well would be nice. Then take a long soak. Obviously, throw a handful of sea salt in your tub. You can drop some quartz crystals in there. Use quartz, it's safe. You're not going to mess them up in the bath water, and they're not going to poison you. So that's cool. We like that. Flowers. Make sure they're organic if you're putting them in your tub, but you could also just put flowers around your tub if you would rather. Candles, obviously, you want to light a candle. Beltane is very much about fire, so you need to have a candle lit. Essential oils could absolutely be not required. That's optional if you don't want to use them. Um, if you are going to put oils in the bathtub, let's talk for a minute about how to do that safely. Because if you don't and you do it not safely, what happens is the oils will just attach to wherever they first hit your skin, and then the water helps drive them into your skin. And you can give yourself a pretty good thermal burn from bathing with essential oils if you don't do it correctly. And I know that because I've done it to myself more than once because I'm a slow learner, apparently, when it comes to essential oils and thermal burns. Both times I did it, it was with geranium oil. And then I started following the rules because because I woke up apparently. So oils have to be emulsified before they go in the bath water. You can emulsify them in a little bit of fat. So some people like to just put their oils, a few drops of oil, whatever you're going to use, into a half a cup of milk and stir that in good and pour it into the bath. That's a good way to do it. Another great way to do it is to just put it in your salt. Put it in your sea salt, shake it up really good, and add that together. And that will help to emulsify and spread the oil throughout the bath water rather than just a little, bit of it floating on top of the water. The other thing that you should not do is just put drops of oil into the water while you're already in it for the same reason. So always emulsify your oils. It doesn't matter what they are. Always emulsify essential oils before you put them in the bath water. And again, you can do that with fat. You can do that with salt. But do it because the thermal burn really hurts. And it's just dumb to do that. All right. So just take a long soak, contemplating the balance of light and dark, the coming of summer, life and rebirth, and whatever goals and plans you have coming up. All right. Christy's energy exercise for the week is the calm mind meditation, which, per what we were saying, a lot of us are feeling not calm, not in their mind or in their right mind. It's me, I'm that guy. And so the calm mind meditation helps bring you back into your body, get your focus back. A really good one for this week. I mean, obviously, there's lots of criming going on over at True Crime Squad, and our big focus this week, of course, still this month. We're 3 weeks in to a 10-week trial, so there's still a lot more to go in the Daybell trial. So that's obviously where part of my brain power is going right now. But if you're interested, these are the live summaries that we do at night. So we watch court during the day. We take turns, monitoring it and being in the chat room and stuff. And then we come back every night and wrap it up. And man, we've got quite the chatting base over there these days. A lot of people having a blast. It's been really fun. All right. Anita brings us the goddess Unag. Unag is a Celtic goddess. She's known as the queen of the fairies. I can't think of anyone better to connect with right this minute. So you can read her article and connect with Unag. Jamie Don has a brand new video about this Venus and Taurus season here. She said, take some calculated risks. And she's got some thoughts on that. And then, of course, lots of meditations over at Planet Meditation on YouTube. And that's it. So hopefully you found some things there that will get you going, make you think a little bit, I hope. So there you go. Yeah. Suzanne said her husband just told her there was a neighborhood ring camera notification of 3 bears in someone's backyard a few miles away. What? Oh my gosh. She wants to change her answer, maybe. She's thinking about it. Oh, Suzanne, good Lord. There was a video of a town not too far from me, Pocatello, last week, where somebody looked outside and discovered a mountain lion just chilling in one of their trees. So they called Fish and Game, and they came and literally this cat is just lounging in the tree like, well, any cat would lounge. He was all spread out, just looking around, and they they had this giant like, you know, trampoliny thing that they had a bunch of people on either side of, and they tranked him. And you saw him get sleepier and sleepier. His head started to hang more and more, and suddenly he just slid out of the tree. And they were ready and waiting and caught him and took him back up into the mountains where he belongs. Why he was in that neighborhood, no idea. Every once in a while, they get a mountain lion down in there. But anyway, wow. Can you imagine looking out the window and seeing a mountain lion in the trees? That would scare me a lot. I mean, you know, I am the mother to tiny chihuahuas. And they would probably be having a fit thinking they could fight him. So, yikes. It always makes me nervous though when nature starts coming into our areas because they need somewhere to be. We have taken over their world, and now where are they supposed to be? Yeah. Denise said, I have bunnies and squirrels in the open space in my new location. Fun to watch. Oh, I love that. How fun. Kay said, great show. Thank you, Kay. I love you so very much. And thanks for being here. Oh, I could watch squirrels forever and ever. Back when I directed daycares, this one daycare that I directed for a couple of years, it was a big old house that was remodeled into a daycare facility, and it was brick, and it had this huge, huge window in the what would have been the living room if this was a house, but it was our like big great gathering room for the kids, and it had a huge, huge window, and on the outside of it there was this brick window sill that was pretty thick, like thick. And so in the mornings when I first opened, I'd reach out there with bird seed and stuff and throw it out there. So there was a bunch of it there. And by the time the kids got there would be squirrels that would be sitting there eating the stuff I put out there. And those kids could walk right up to the glass and look those squirrels right in the eye. And they'd sit right there and eat and interface with the kids. It was the coolest thing. I had kids and parents that every morning when they came in, they had to go straight to the window and hang out with the squirrels for a minute. It was so cool. So then with our older kids, I'm like, hey, let's do in the winter. I was like, hey, let's do those cool pine cone squirrel and bird feeder things. They're actually bird feeder things that you. I don't know if you've ever done this, but you take a big pine cone, a natural one that it's not treated with anything, and you smear it really good in peanut butter, and then you roll it in bird seed and you hang it up, and you can watch your birds coming in to eat from it. And like it's a fun activity, a craft for kids, and doing something for the environment and things, right? So we spent all afternoon making these. And when I say those kids made a mess, I mean those kids made a mess. But we had all of our little things and we were so excited about it. And the one I made was going to stay at the center, and we were going to hang it up so that everybody could see it. And then everybody we wrapped theirs up so they could take them home and hang them up. The next day, no kidding, I watched a squirrel chew through the string that I had hung it up with and stole the whole damn thing and left with it. So we didn't get to enjoy our birds eating from it because the squirrel just stole the whole damn thing and took it. So use wire. Good to see you, Lillian. And I will be here next Tuesday for sure. Jessica said my dogs don't allow squirrels and rabbits in the yard. Yeah. In my backyard, no. In my front yard, they can't get out there. So yes, but yeah. All righty. Well, You guys, I think we've just about done it. I do want to remind you that I am a professional psychic advisor over at 12listen.com, and you can find me over there any day. And I'm literally there every single day. And if you ever head over there and I'm not there, all you have to do is a callback request. So when you do a callback request, what that does is it sends me a message, a text that says, hey, so and so is waiting to talk to you. So if you would like, sign into work, that would be cool. And so I'll head over there as soon as I can. If, I'll get in a spot where I can get to you and I'll sign in so that we can work together. And I would be happy to do that. So I wanted to share this link with you. Give me just one sec to pull it up. Okay, so here's my profile. Hold on. I don't think I have it on the screen. I don't. I'm moving too fast. Here's my profile right here. So if you go over there to 12listen and search for me, that's what you're going to find. And then you'll see a lot of different things you can do. Gift certificate, website, Facebook, classes, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. So lots of different ways to connect. You'll see over here the way to connect with my show, which obviously you guys already have figured out. There's also time-based sessions. And so I have lots of time-based sessions, which is a really, really great way to connect because then you know how much time you have to talk, and I know how much time you have to talk, so that whatever it is that you are calling me for, we can get all the way through. So I have a Merkaba clearing. So if you have some clearing that you need to have done, if you've got some stuff weighing on you, we can do that. There's a lot of different ways to connect that way. I also have my email services. And so, and the most popular ones I'll say are definitely the one question or the video one question. So literally you're just coming with one question or one energy work request and saying, hey, can you do this? If you just do the one question, I'll do it and I'll send you back an email explaining what I saw, what I learned, whatever your question was. If it's a video, then I'll make like a 10-minute video responding to that. If it's energy work, doing that work or whatnot, and send you a link for that. So that's a couple of other options. I also wanted to point out at 12listen, you don't have to call, you can chat. And some people really prefer that. And so I can honestly say, for all the years I've been at 12listen, I have some clients that I have never spoken to on the phone that only do chat, which is completely fine. Other people, of course, want to talk and they don't chat, and some people do both, and it's all fine. But right here, there's an option to call or chat. And so, I mean, it says I'm away because I'm not in currently, obviously, but you can hit call or you can hit chat, and then it'll give you instructions on how to do that. But at any rate, I just wanted to make that clear that that's how you use our site. If you haven't used it before, they'll ask you to set up an account, of course, and then they'll ask you to make a deposit into that account so that you have some cash available to spend it with whatever advisor you choose. So that's how it works. All right, you guys, we have definitely done it. We've talked down to the end of the show. I want to let you know that I'll be back here next week, same place, same time. And of course, I want to thank you for being here and being a part of my journey. I love you guys. Have a good week. This has been yet another production of The Katie Weaver Show here on 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.